The greatest generals, king and most powerful people through history know to manipulation whether you like that or not. If you want to be more powerful, you must learn human psychology, and that is what 48 Laws of Power can teach you. A book that is banned from prisons, and in 212 pages you can learn skills that can help through your whole life. You can buy it at description with other best manipulation books that can help you more with manipulation than videos like this. Disclaimer. I do not support manipulation in any way. This video is for educational purposes only, aimed at highlighting manipulative tactics. It's important to use this information responsibly and always treat others with honesty and respect.
Trying to manipulate me is not gonna work.
Law 4. Say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. Even if you are saying something banal, it will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. Imagine you're negotiating a business deal with a potential partner. Instead of revealing your bottom line immediately, you keep your cards close to your chest. You listen attentively, asking strategic questions, but refraining from divulging too much about your own position or limitations. You speak confidently and assertively when necessary, but avoid unnecessary elaboration or over-explanation. Your restraint leaves the other party uncertain about your intentions and gives you the upper hand in the negotiation process. This way, you maintain control over the conversation and increase the likelihood of achieving a favorable outcome. Law 4 advises individuals to be mindful of the power of silence and to use it strategically to maintain control, protect themselves, and enhance their influence. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452–1519. The shells open completely on a full moon, and when a crab sees one, it throws a piece of stone into it, and it cannot close, so it serves as meat for the crab. Such is the fate of the one who opens his mouth too much, thereby placing himself at the mercy of the listener. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you. Instead, uncover something in your request or in your alliance with him that will benefit him, and emphasize it out of all proportion. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself. Imagine you need help with a project at work from a busy colleague. Instead of just asking for help, you could say, "I know you're really good at specific tasks. Your expertise would be a huge help for this project, and it could also show off your skills to important people, which might lead to recognition or promotions." In this way, you're showing them how helping you can benefit them personally, making it more likely they'll agree. Law 13 suggests that when you need help from others, it's effective to show them how helping you will benefit them. People are usually motivated by their own interests, so appealing to those interests can make them more likely to assist you. Keep these points in mind. Jean de la Barrière, 1645–1696. The shortest and best way to achieve your own happiness is to let people know that it is in their interest to promote your. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick, then, is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives. Law 21 advises you to act less smart than you really are in certain situations. By doing this, you can make others underestimate you, giving you an advantage. Here's how it works. Lower expectations. When people think you're not very smart, they won't expect much from you. This can give you room to surprise them later. Gather information. People may let their guard down around you if they think you're not very bright. This can help you learn things they wouldn't normally share. Influence others. Acting less intelligent can make people more likely to listen to you or do what you want. You can use this to your advantage in negotiations or other situations. In simple terms, Law 21 says it can be useful to act dumber than you are to get ahead, but don't do it too much or you might lose respect. Imagine you're playing poker with friends who are better than you. Instead of showing your skills, you act like you don't know much about the game. Your friends think you're an easy win, so they play recklessly. But as the game goes on, you start playing smarter, taking advantage of their mistakes. And by the opossum, a type of mammal, if he has to pretend to be dead. Many predators leave him alone like that. Who would have believed that such an ugly, unintelligent, nervous creature could be capable of such deception? Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Coercion creates a reaction that will eventually work against you. You must seduce others into wanting to move in your direction. A person you have seduced becomes your loyal pawn. And the way to seduce others is to operate on their individual psychologies and weaknesses. Soften up the resistant by working on their emotions, playing on what they hold dear and what they fear. Ignore the hearts and minds of others and they will grow to hate you. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others means you should focus on influencing how people feel and think to gain power. Understanding. Feelings. Realize that people are driven by their emotions, so connecting with them emotionally is crucial. Building trust. Earn trust and loyalty by showing empathy and support. This makes others more likely to follow you. Persuading effectively. Use persuasion to change people's opinions by appealing to their emotions, not just logic. In short, Law 43 advises using emotional connections and persuasion to gain and maintain power over others. In AD 225, Zhuge Liang, master strategist and chief minister to the ruler of Shu in ancient China, confronted a dangerous situation. The kingdom of Wei had mounted an all-out attack on Shu from the north. More dangerous still, Wei had formed an alliance with the barbarous states to the south of Shu, led by King Menghuo. Zhuge Liang had to deal with this second menace from the south before he could hope to fend off Wei in the north. Napoleon Bonaparte, 1769-1821. The men who have changed the universe have never gotten there by working on leaders, but rather by moving the masses. Working on leaders is the method of intrigue, and only leads to secondary results. Working on the masses, however, is the stroke of genius that changes the face of the world. If you want to learn more from a Me Personal, ask me questions, or vote for videos ideas, video tutorials, and lessons, click the link in the description. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Striking imagery and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage the spectacles for those around you, full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you are really doing. In the 1780s, word spread through Berlin of the strange and spectacular medical practice of a Dr. Wieslater, who performed miracles by curing people with the moon. He would expose his patients to the rays of the moon. They would eventually get better. Word spread, and he was dubbed the Moon Doctor of Berlin. The rich and poor all flocked to him. Law 37 advises individuals to master the art of creating attention-grabbing events or displays. By understanding human psychology and orchestrating memorable spectacles, one can control narratives, influence opinions, and wield power effectively. However, caution is advised to ensure authenticity and avoid backlash. Visual images often appear in a sequence, and the order in which they appear creates a symbol. The first to appear, for instance, symbolizes power. The image at the center seems to have central importance. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. Learn and apply the laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in the court. According to Law 24 of the 48 Laws of Power, to thrive in whatever court or environment you're playing for power in, learn the rules and know how to manipulate them. Even in modern times, a skilled courtier or functionary who can successfully navigate and thrive in the world of power has great power himself. There's much you can learn about how to play the perfect courtier from studying courtiers of the past. Alexander the Great, conqueror of the Mediterranean basin and the Mid-Dela East through to India, had the great Aristotle as his tutor and mentor, and throughout his short life, he remained devoted to philosophy and his master's teachings. He once complained to Aristotle that during his long campaigns, he had no one with whom he could discuss philosophical matters. Aristotle responded by suggesting that he take Callisthenes, a mere pupil of Aristotle's and a promising philosopher in his own right, along on the next campaign. This description for Best Manipulation Book from Amazon. See you next time.